Congratulations on your new baby. My name is Amy and I'm going to go over what's included in your Evenflo Advanced Double Electric Breast Pump. As you can see, I've already unboxed a pump here in front of me. When you take yours out, first thing you'll notice is your pump motor. In addition to the motor, you're going to find pump tubing. The end of your pump tubing has a tubing adapter already attached. This is the part that plugs into the motor. Okay, you're also going to find your AC adapter. This is the part that plugs into the motor to plug into the wall when you're ready to use your pump. Now these parts are never cleaned. They don't ever get wet because they're never going to come in contact with your milk. And for that reason, I'm setting them aside so I can remember not to get them wet or to clean them. All right, let's turn our attention to the pump. Your collection bottles come already assembled, which is kind of nice because it gives you an idea of what it's going to look like when you put it back together when you're ready to pump. But before you pump, you need to take everything apart and sanitize it before first use. So let's do that together. This is the flange. It's the part that touches your breast when you pump. Evenflo flanges come with an insert inserted into a larger flange. So the first thing you're going to do is take out the insert. Here's the hard flange and here's the insert. This gives you two different sizes so you can choose the one that best fits your nipple. So let's go ahead and set the insert down because we definitely want to clean that. Now let's look at the other side of the flange. This is called the diaphragm cap. Using this little rounded edge, go ahead and grasp that with your finger and snap it off. This is the part that your tubing connects to for your collection bottles. Milk never touches this part, so we're not going to need to clean it or sanitize it. So I remember not to clean it. I'm going to go ahead and put it with a pump motor. All right, so where we took the cap off, we have the diaphragm. We will clean this part. Now we can unscrew the bottle. And then if you look on the inside of your flange, you're going to find the valve and the membrane. Grasp that and give it a little twist and pull it off. The membrane is the little green piece that fits on the valve. You need to go ahead and pull that off also. So just grab it with your thumb and finger and snap it off. So every time you pump, when you're finished and you're ready to clean your pump, you need to remove the membrane from the valve. This is the part that milk flows through when you're pumping. If you forget to remove it and clean it, eventually the milk dries and seals the membrane to the valve, and then milk won't flow through your pump and your pump stops working. So always remember to take the little green piece off. And that's it. Let's do the other side. Okay, so these parts are ready to clean. There's other parts in your box you'll want to clean also. You will have a little bag that contains lids and sealing discs. This is so you can close off your milk after you pump and store it in the fridge safely. Or you can also use the cap ring with the enclosed nipple in your pump. This way, after you pump your milk, you can actually feed right from the same bottle. So let's go ahead and sanitize the bottle nipple. And you'll have a baggie with more valves and membranes. So go ahead and take everything apart and get them ready for cleaning. The other thing you might have in your box is one more set of flange inserts. Depending on what insurance you have, insurance companies contract with DMEs, and sometimes they contract to provide a pump that has two sizes of flanges. Other times they contract to provide 3 sizes of flanges. Now it's important that the flange you have fits your nipple, and if for some reason the ones that you have in your box don't work for you, know that you can go to evenflofeeding.com and look at all of the sizes of flanges that are available and find the one that will best work with you. Now that you're ready to sanitize your pieces, the first thing you'll do is get a large pot of water. Then put all of these pieces into the water and put it on the heat. You'll want to bring the water to a full boil and then set the timer for 5 minutes. While your pieces are boiling, grab a long spoon and give it a stir every few minutes. The point of stirring is to make sure all of the pieces have a chance to be submerged into the boiling water. What you'll find is some of the pieces float and some of them sink, and by stirring it on occasion, everything gets a chance to be brought up to the right temperature for sanitizing. When your timer goes off, remove the pot from the heat and grab some clean tongs. You'll want to carefully remove all of these pieces from the boiling water, and you'll lay them either on a clean towel or on clean paper towels, and then you leave everything there until it's completely dry. After you've sanitized all of your pump pieces and everything is completely dry, it's time to put your pump back together. Before you touch anything, make sure you've washed your hands with soap and water. Alright, putting a pump back together is kind of like doing a jigsaw puzzle. I like to start with the valves and the membrane, so let's find a green membrane and the little valve that it snaps onto. You'll notice with these pieces that both of them have a rounded edge. You're going to want to line up these pieces so the rounded edge is facing the same direction, and then you can snap the membrane onto the valve. After you put it together, take a minute to inspect the edges. The membrane should be laying flat against the valve. Now we can grab a flange and find the end that we attach the valve and membrane to. I find it's easiest to grasp the valve and membrane with your thumb and finger, and as you're pressing it on, to give it a little twist. This will help you know when you have it all the way flush against the flange. Now we're going to turn our attention to the diaphragm. The diaphragm's the little opaque piece, looks like a little cup that goes in this part of your flange, so we'll set that in. And now we need the diaphragm cap. Now remember, we didn't wash this part because we don't ever want it to warp. So grab it from where your motor is and we'll put it on. I like to make sure that the little part where the tubing attaches is facing down. So I'm going to point that down now, and then I will just use my fingers and snap it on firmly. All right, let's look at the flange part, the part that touches your breast. So on the side of the flange, it has the flange size written on it. And each of the inserts also has a size written on it. I'm going to put this pump together with 28mm flanges. So I'm going to find the insert that says 28, and then to put it in, you're going to push the tunnel into the hard flange tunnel. Just push it so it's all the way in, and then go completely around the edge of the insert. You'll find that the insert has a little lip on it that fits around the hard flange. You want to make sure that this is put together all the way around. Okay, lastly, we'll attach a bottle. There we go, that's the first one. Now we'll do the second one. Okay, now you notice I have some pieces left. These are the other pieces that were in the box when we unboxed the pump. I find it's best to go ahead and put these pieces into a zippered pouch, or you could put them into a box with a lid. You just want to make sure that they're covered and sealed, and that way you can remember that they're ready to use. They're going to stay clean until you need them. All right, now let's go over how to attach the pumping tubing to your pump bottles. All right, here's the tubing adapter. You can see that both tubes are attached to the tubing adapter. That means that this is set up for double pumping. The tubing adapter plugs into the side of the pump right here. And when you press it together, press it really firmly, maybe give it a little twist. You just want to get it as flush as possible. All right, now let's go to the other end of our tubes. To attach it to the collection bottle, we're just going to press it over this little edge. And you want to press it all the way as close to the diaphragm cap as possible. And we'll do that with both pumps. So this is set up for double pumping. Let me show you what to do if you want to do single pumping. We're going to start over here at the tubing adapter. We're going to remove the tube that's closest to this little cap. To remove a tube, simply grasp it with your fingers and pull it firmly until it pops off. Okay, now grab this little cap and you want to plug that hole. Perfect. All right, now we're going to follow the tube that's still attached to the pump and see which side we can pump with. Okay, so this is the one that we would single pump with the way our tubing's set up. If you want to double pump again, all you have to do is unplug this little cap, plug the tubing back in, and you're ready to go.